And we're coming back to you live from our homes. I'm Zach.
And I'm Sean. Just the awkward pause after it.
I can't wait for people to hear the end of this. Oh my god.
Of people hearing these episodes, you never sent me the last one, bro.
Oh, did I not? That's awkward.
It's embarrassing for me because I never reminded you at all. I just kept thinking, I need to do that, and then I just do something else. But like, yeah, man, you gotta send that over.
Oh, my bad. It's just the lost episode.
It's so funny. This summer, I occasionally go back and listen to random Vice Nuggs episodes, and I went back to like semester 1, and the final episode of that, you like take some time to thank people who listened, and just like you said thank you, Sean, because you got these episodes out on time every time. We didn't miss a single one. I was like, man, that's crazy. How is that possible? And now we're just like, oh, you never sent that over to me? Oh well, it's fine.
Hey, I mean, a couple of years of doing a podcast will do that to you, man. It's like, I mean, I never thought we'd get this far.
You just get this so jaded when you're as famous as we are.
Yeah, it's really a burden. It's kind of crazy. Just like rolling in the YouTube money every morning, like, oh, I just
the YouTube money.
So, it's funny because I've been listening to Distractable. It's another podcast from Markiplier and his friends.
Yeah. I've heard him yell at us to watch it.
And it's the funniest thing is, I feel like their energy is very similar to ours.
Oh, really?
Where they just talk about bullcrap and just go with it, and it's hilarious. I mean, granted, they actually have intelligent thoughts every now and then. I wouldn't say that about me, at least.
No, not at all. No.
But
definitely not about you.
Oh, well. Oh. Thanks, Sean.
I think I'm like commiserating with you about just putting you down further.
I mean, we've already established that's what this whole relationship is, so it's
us
fine.
Putting each other down.
We're just using each other.
It's so special. Oh my gosh. Now, so dude, it's so funny that we keep saying stuff like this. Because I've been like wavering. I have a couple things that I've wanted to talk about for a little while now.
Okay.
And one is like, super old, but one is brand new, and I think I have to talk about it.
Perfect. Well, before you jump into that, I have some quick stories.
Please, I'm begging you. I have a story too, but go ahead.
Oh my god, we like came prepared today or something. That's a first. Like,
so
it's been like,
oh my gosh,
probably 4 semesters since we've been prepared. That's crazy.
You know, we're doing so good this semester, right? Like, we've been in the semester 3 weeks. We've recorded 1 episode. Have not put out any.
Man, we're doing awesome.
Top of the game, baby.
Well, it's so funny because last week, it was Saturday night. I'm like, man, I didn't even remember to ask about Spicy Nugs this week. It's just like, I was like, oh well.
I was at a family reunion last weekend, so it was never gonna happen.
Oh,
so.
I don't feel bad then. All right.
Yeah, you're good.
So,
anyways, your story.
My stories. All right. So,
did you get robbed again?
No. I mean, they still haven't come back to rob my stuff. I'm kind of disappointed. I even left everything in there for them. Like,
pretty embarrassing. Pretty embarrassing. Anyways.
Fish, sorry, you just like opened up a whole other thing with that story. Okay, back to my original fishing story.
This is what happens when we record Spicy Nugs in a consistent manner.
We have so much. We go from having nothing to talk about because we record so much to I have so much to cram into this 20-minute episode that's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Here we go.
Okay, focus it up. So I had my one in-person class at UVU last week, right? Mm-hmm. And so I go to class, everything's fine, but that's not even the important part. The important part is I got on the freeway. I know, crazy. I was going home, but the thing I saw, I was so shocked, shooketh to the core, I dare say. there was a car in the lane next to me. I only noticed because I needed to merge over, right? Mm-hmm. On this car is a giant anime girl printed on the entire side of the car.
Oh my gosh.
And it's not like, and it is like the classic sexy anime girl in a bikini. Okay?
And you realized how many possibilities you've been missing out on. Is this where this is going?
No. I had to do like a triple take, okay? Because I looked over and I was like, hey, I'm like, it's an anime girl. I was like, wait, what the fish? Like, first off, the balls of this person to have that on the side of their car, okay?
That's a big statement. That's a huge statement.
That is something I never thought I would see ever. And I was just like, what in the... So that the entire ride home, I am just thinking about this car. I'm just like... First off, first you have to have the thought, I want this on the side of my car. Then you have to be brave enough to actually have somebody do it for you. And then you have to be even braver. You have to be seen driving that everywhere you go.
Well, Zach, I was gonna say, man, I figured this would have just inspired you.
Well, I mean, I now also have a sexy anime girl on the side of my car.
The weeb that you are.
I was just like, because like I love anime, but I was like, even me, I was like, wow, that is commitment to something. And I don't know how.
Zero shame there. Like, no shame at all.
You know, I'm like, I can only applaud them for their guts. Like, straight up.
It's impressive. It straight up is.
And yeah, that's the story. I just had to share what I saw because I was so shook.
A level of confidence you can only attain by having a very robbable car.
So what you're saying is I will never get this amount of confidence ever in my life.
I'm saying you can get there.
I can get there. Okay, this is my new goal in life. Forget going to Japan. I will become robbable.
You know, you can do both. I'm pretty sure there's crime in Japan. I don't know for sure.
But the crime rate's a lot lower from what I hear. So like, it's going to be even harder to get to that level. But still possible.
Yeah, man. You just got to really prove that you are the one that's worth it.
You're so right, Sean. This is why we're friends.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I build you up so that you can be torn back down.
Yes! Yes! I mean, such is the cycle of my life.
It's the circle of Zach. And it hurts so bad.
See you, Sean. See you, brother.
Confidence and falling flat.
Thank you. I want you to know I was actually swaying there. You couldn't tell, but I was jamming.
Good.
So my second story, another very short one.
Please.
Oddly enough, is also about cars.
I guess it's about anime.
No. I mean, look. I mean, as a carology major, I mean, it's just things I notice.
Yeah.
No, so it's like kind of like on my mind all the time.
It's understood.
Okay. But
Yeah.
I was driving towards, this was yesterday, and I get to a light, and I notice this car in the other lane, and it is one of those like those small trucks. It has like one of those like a small bed. It's like it only has like the 2 seats in the front, so like it's just a tiny truck, right? On top of this truck is the largest, and I mean the largest antenna I have ever seen.
Yes.
And it is just in the middle of the hood of the truck, and it is like probably 6 feet tall.
You know what? They're probably
This thing is probably even longer. It's massive. And then my only thought was like, are you trying to communicate with aliens from a different universe? Like, what am I looking at?
Zach,
Yeah,
you know
sure.
what they're using that for?
What are they trying? I don't know. What are they using it for?
It's to stream the anime.
It's to stream the anime.
It's so stupid.
Those two cars, they were in it together.
They were working together.
One has to represent them, and then the other has to be able to stream the anime, not only to their car, but to the other car as well.
I like how we're calling it the anime, like we're 90 years old.
The anime. It all makes sense. What's next? What next am I going to see on the road, Sean? Fetch.
How do I get the anime?
How do I join the anime
Honestly,
cult?
at this point, I'm pretty sure your next step is you just see a car that all of its windows are just screens that are just showing anime.
You know, I wouldn't even be surprised.
I know.
It's kind of the next step, you're right. But yeah, I'm amazed that I had 2 car stories.
Man, hey, and I'm so proud of you for that, you know? I don't think
you.
we've had a good car discussion since our carology discussion way back in semester 2. So thank you for bringing it.
How do you remember what semester it was?
I don't know, I'm guessing. It was. Let me think. I'm just kidding, I'm not. Were you able to even hear that?
I was, yes.
Okay, good. Okay. How much time we got? Where are we at, Zach?
I don't know. We got a little bit. We're about halfway. Maybe a little bit over.
Oh, so we're doing pretty good. Okay. All right. So, here's my first story. Okay, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Here's my first story.
Of course it's a TED Talk. Gosh.
Well, yeah, it's because I'm better than you.
Well, I mean, I watched a TED Talk for class just last week, so like, really?
Pretty embarrassing.
Okay. Sorry, your
must be
story, Sean.
So much better than me.
I mean, I don't really think it. I kind of know it, but it's no big deal.
So, I was in my nihilism class. I believe it was my second day of class. We only have it once a week.
Right.
And you know, it's our professor from last semester, right?
Right.
And we were talking. He had us watch the movie. I don't know if you've seen this. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
I have heard so much about this movie.
Yeah.
Apparently, I need to see it.
Clay was the first one to tell me to watch it, and then I had to watch it for my class. And it was really cool. It was quite a movie. But I won't talk about the movie because if you're gonna see it, I won't spoil anything from it. But one of the people in my class, this girl, she raised her hand as he was like, "Okay, let's talk about the movie. What did you guys think?" And she raised her hand and she was like, "I just want to say that this is probably my new favorite movie of all time, and that means it beat Ratatouille."
Yes, Ratatouille.
Our professor just goes, "Ratatouille?" And then he stands up. He's like, "No." And he just walks the whole room out the door and leaves class for like 45 seconds. We're all just left sitting there. What the fetch?
What's wrong with Ratatouille? I love that movie.
It's so like... Oh man, yeah. You should watch that movie. It was pretty good. Very interesting, and I think it'd give you, honestly, if you watch it, I think it'd give us a good topic for Spicy Nugs that we could get into. But
Well, I guess I have to watch it now. Okay.
Yeah, maybe give it a go.
I do love the idea of Ryan just leaving, because that is absolutely something he would do.
It's perfect for him, isn't it? It's like so perfect. Like, holy cow. And I was just like, you know, I'm not even surprised. Like, that's just what he's...
He just has that energy to him, and I love it.
Totally, yeah. Okay, so let me talk about this idea, which was actually from my nihilism class this week.
Was there a TED Talk on it too?
No,
Oh,
we just do a lot of readings, you know how it does.
Oh, the old version of TED Talks. Okay.
Yeah. So we read a couple of things. One of the stories we read this week It's by a guy named Chekhov. It's called The Student. It was a short story, so I'll just summarize it here really quick. It's about this seminary student in Russia in like the 1800s. So he's like kind of trying to make his way up into the Catholic Church, and he's walking home from the seminary, and it's a cold day, and he's thinking about how everything sucks and how everything is just this continual chain of suckage, bad things causing more bad things, right?
Man, that is my life. Preach.
As he's walking home, he's thinking about this, and he sees, he must live in a small town because he knows who they are, but these two ladies, a mother and a daughter. And the mother's like washing laundry out in the cold, and the daughter has some kind of mental thing that they don't go into where she just doesn't talk, so she's just sitting there staring. And so he walks up to them, and he tells the story to them of Peter before denying Christ 3 times, right?
Okay.
Just as he's being like, as he's being put on trial and stuff, and the people recognize, aren't you one of like Jesus's people? And he's like, no, I don't know the man, right? And he talks, and he ends the story telling about how it says in the scripture that after doing that and hearing the cock crow, because that's the signal that Jesus predicted, you'll deny me thrice before the cock crows. He hears that, and he looks at Jesus, and Jesus looks back at him, and Peter leaves, and he wept bitterly. That's the phrase in the Bible, right?
Yep.
And the man ends the story saying that. And then he looks at the 2 ladies he's been talking to, and the mother who's washing the laundry is just in tears, just bawling, just crying, just weeping, bitterly, you might say.
Okay.
And the student thinks to himself, oh, wow, look at that. This touched her. Something that happened thousands of years ago really touched this woman. So maybe the world isn't just a giant cycle of pain and misery. Maybe it's a cycle of good things, like everything's connected, and that's actually a good thing. And so he walks away, and suddenly the day seems a lot brighter, and he feels a lot better about himself. And he's like, man, everything's great. Like, it's all one giant, we're all connected in this giant circle of life, whatever, and it all will end up in the good, right? And that's how the story ends. It's very unceremonious. It's like, why did I even read that? What was the point of it? Right? Now,
Okay.
that's what Ryan asked us. He was like, so what's the moral here? Like, and we were kind of stumped. He's like, what we kind of came to was the idea that the student, like, didn't really get the message he was supposed to, right? Like, by the end, he seems to have flipped to a different side of the coin, but he like, if everything's connected, right, then something bad happening to someone else is something bad happening to you. So you should try to lessen suffering, right?
Right. Makes sense.
So he had these 2 ladies here, and one who cannot speak, and the other who ends up crying because of something you say, and he doesn't try to help in any kind of way. He just walks away, and that's it, right? And so the idea being like, everything may suck, or everything may be great. Maybe it's one or the other, right? There's like these kind of dual ideas of that, and we talked a lot about that in class. But what if there's like a middle ground? What if like things suck and also sometimes things are good, but either way, you're there in the moment and you're with people, and if things suck, maybe you can help. So anyways, what I'm trying to get at is I liked this concept of like being in the moment, and like, instead of thinking about how terrible everything is in a grand scale, just thinking about what you can do. And this also, we talked about like kind of the Buddhist idea and a couple of other religions really, but the idea that like the best way for you to feel happy is to get out of your own way, to forget yourself and help others, right? That's kind of what this is implying.
Right. Okay.
He was happy with himself at the end, but how long would that really last? Whereas if he continually tried to help others to improve lives and whatever, maybe that would go better for him. But my thought at the end of it was, and this is my question for you, is there a possibility that you see where someone could lean too much into that?
Oh. Okay.
Because it sounds great. This idea of getting rid of the ego, right? And getting out of your own way, getting out of your own way for your own happiness, right?
Right.
It sounds really good because I think a lot of times that is the barrier for us. But do you think it's possible that a person could lean too far the other way?
Oh, that's interesting. Oh my goodness. Okay, so first impression. I like that you brought up the idea of doing what you can, and like being in the moment, right? Because I feel like a lot of the times, maybe, and this goes into like your question of going too far, is I think that if you try to step out of your own way so much and like look to service, right? And like look for like, instead of like temporary happiness, you're looking for the longer happiness of like, especially if the idea is we're all connected, right? Like others' happiness will bring you happiness, right?
Right.
I think at some point, if you say you achieve this, like the ultimate ideal of this, almost where like this idea, wouldn't that imply that like you don't matter in a way? Because
right.
If you are only focused on other people, there's no focus on yourself. And in a way, you're saying that their happiness is above your happiness, even if you are happy. Which it's kind of strange to like say it that way, but.
Zach, I wish you were in my nihilism class. Oh my gosh, that was genius. Because I think you remember when we first started talking about Buddhism, and we first started talking about the idea that like nothing is permanent, and that everything is changing. It made it almost feel like nothing mattered, right?
Yes.
And the thing they clung to in that, and that we talked about in class, was the idea that, well, it's not that nothing matters, because the thing that matters is to show love to others, right? It's to help others, compassion. That's the big Buddhist thing, right?
Yeah.
But I wonder, because like this idea of the ego or yourself, right? Again, I think like for a lot of people, certainly for me, I would assume for you in a lot of ways, like I get in the way of my own happiness, my own goals, my whatever, right?
Oh, same, absolutely.
You're your number one critic, you know, all those stupid sayings, whatever.
Yes.
Right. So there is like this like romanticism to the idea of, oh, well, get rid of yourself. Like don't have, because you're not real. Like you don't exist. That's the literal thing Buddhists say, right? They say it's stupid to think of yourself because you don't exist. You're gonna change.
Yep.
Right. But my thought is, okay, it's easy to say that, right? I don't matter. I don't exist. I shouldn't worry about that. I should just help others. But like, you still perceive the world through your own eyes and with your own brain, right? So no matter how much you say, oh, I'm just shoving away my ego, I'm gonna do what Christ would do, you know, I'm gonna help others, or I'm gonna follow the Buddhist way and be compassionate, which is awesome. I wonder if you could shove yourself down too far.
So as you were thinking, I almost feel like the extreme, it almost matches the like almost exactly like the same problems as the other side, because like the whole thing, you're your own worst enemy, blah blah blah, like, and like and that is very self-destructive, and like it can lead to like the thoughts like I don't matter, stuff like that, right? But if you never think about yourself, it's almost the exact same thing, because it can lead to the same thought process of I don't matter, and what matters is helping other people. So like, while yes, like it's the same thought process in a way, it's just very two different approaches to it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it's reaching the same end point, but taking two completely different paths to get there.
Yes. And while I would say that one is definitely one is probably better because at least you are helping others, there is still that pitfall of, I think there definitely has to be at least some acknowledgement of your own worth and your own happiness.
Yeah. Huh. I don't know if I could have said it better myself. I'm bringing this to the right person.
Well, I mean, as a major in carology, there's really no other major that can really just dive right into these subjects, you know?
I have a really unique perspective on the whole matter.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about perspective.
At the end of the day, you don't have an ego, but you know what does? You know what does have a self? Cars.
Especially that person with the anime girl on the side of their car. Like, really, they've peaked. They have found the secret.
We need to stop worrying about being compassionate to others and being compassionate to cars. That's what we really need to worry about. You want to find true happiness?
Oh. One thing has never changed throughout all of the semesters of Spicy Nuggs. We are great at butchering a great moment.
Just immediately undermining it. I love it so much.
But yeah, Sean, when is the carology merch heading to the merch store? I mean, you said you've been on that all summer.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm not. Don't worry about typing sounds you're hearing.
No, Sean. I mean, it should be done already, right? Like, why would you need to type anything on the keyboard? I'm a little concerned.
Dude, it's crazy. As soon as I go into the internet, you just immediately, like, I can't understand you.
Sean's one web browser has ruined his internet.
Literally, as soon as I touch Chrome, there, I made that.
Car guy? He's a regular guy, only cooler.
All knowing about cars, ridiculously good looking. That's a real shirt. So, I mean, not someone I made. I made that. And I'm
Sean, is this plagiarism?
No, don't Google car shirts.
All right, let me search car shirts real fast.
No,
okay.
no.
Sean, I have a problem here.
What's up?
It's like the fifth option. I mean, I know we're famous and all, but shouldn't we be number one?
I scrolled down, man. I did some scroll. I mean, I've been trying to get some. Been trying to get it. You know, our marketing's hard in the summer. People are really focused on swimming pools and stuff, but I think in the winter people really care more about car guys.
People really need to care more about carology. That's all I'm saying. And Sean, by the end of the semester, I expect the car guy shirt to be number one of Google results. So make it happen.
Okay, I mean, I'll pray to whatever God I believe in, I guess.
Okay, glad to hear it. Sean, do you have any last thoughts before I get us out of here?
Probably not. Let's just end it.
Check out the merch store.
It's in the description, baby.
And a major in carology. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm still sick.
And I'm still shy.
And we'll see you next time.
It's very big, 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 big water. It's very big, 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 big water. It's deep and dark and dangerous, scary and mysterious. In that big water.
There we go.
I just watched like the little thing in the corner that's like voice connected and the bars on it. You know, I'm watching it. It is losing its mind right now. It is all over the place.
Really?
So exciting.
Well, it was so, like it was funny. I tried calling you, and then like nothing happened, and then like a moment later, you just typed "hello?" question mark. So then I just called again, and then you joined, and I couldn't hear you. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? What's going on?
I'm scared. Help me. Help me, Obi-Zach Kenobi.
Oh my
I
God.
only hope.
You got that right.
Yeah, baby. I only hope you know what I'm saying. Only hope that I'm. You know what?
Oh, go on.
I'm talking.
It's alright. I know what you were trying to say.
Dude, it has been such a long day of work today, and my brain is so dead.
You're
Oh my
you're
gosh.
fried already.
I'm fried. Oh man, I know you're just like, your day is just like getting started because you got work in a little bit, eh? Right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. How exciting.
Oh, I'm thrilled. I am just. I'm on the edge of my seat. I couldn't be any more excited.
That's that.
Well, that makes two of us. It's fine. Glad we could experience this together.
Oh, yes. That's what really matters. What really matters is... Oh my gosh. This is crazy that we're saying this.
Well,
You know what? I can't.
okay.
Because this is a real topic, and I can't do it before we start the episode.
Well, I can fix that for you real fast if you want.
Hey, man. Whatever you want to do. It's not like I really...
I guess we start the episode. It's not like I want to or anything.
Not super attached.